All right, we're going to get started in just a little bit. All right, I'm going to pause this and step into the shot. I've been getting feedback from people around the world saying, we love that you're continuing to do live streams, but we don't see you anymore. So with this special live stream today, where we're going to be focusing on a fabulous Swedish beauty from the 1970s, late 1960s, early 1970s, that belonged to Donna. And I'm going to show you some pictures of some of the amazing clothing and costumes that were made with this machine over the years. This machine now belongs to Heather. And I'll read a little bit of what she wrote in just a little bit. But I'm so glad that all of you are here today. I'm glad that you are excited about the fact that I'm finally offering another machine from the workshop for sale. I haven't done it for a real long time. And I've been getting a lot of feedback, nudges and elbows and everything else. So I hear you. So here we go with a special machine. You'll get a look of it in just a little bit, but I want to read some stuff to you first, and I'll step into the shot so all of you that have been fussing about it can stop fussing. I'll also start officially, because not only is this a live stream about a machine for sale, it's always a learning experience. I'm going to be showing you some stuff today towards the end of the live stream, so you'll want to stick around and learn some more nuances of how to maintain your Swedish beauty. Okay, important stuff. All right. So I'm going to step into the shot. I'll adjust my laptop screen a little bit. Eventually, I'll have another screen, and then I'll be able to see a lot more. And yes, I have on one of Susie's fun cow country shirts. So if you've been hankering to get a cow country shirt, pay attention, because I might do a giveaway in this special live stream today, and then you'll have a chance to win a shirt similar to this. I think they're cool. They're super cool. So let me see if I can pull up what Heather shared with me. And then we will also focus on some pictures so you can see what's been made on this 6430 in the past. Let let me see here. I think I screenshotted it so I'd be more prepared. Yep, I got it. Also, I should mention, if you're new to this channel and you're wondering who these two guys are to my right, this gentleman and this gentleman, they happen to be the king and the former king of Sweden. Of course, they don't really look like the former king of Sweden or the current king of Sweden, but they're my version of it. They always pop out when I'm offering a machine for sale that is an original owner machine. And if you don't know what an original owner machine is, it means that we can look at the trail of that machine from when it was bought brand new, and it's been with one family, one individual. This machine was bought right around 1974 by Donna and her husband, and I've got the original owner guarantee that Husqvarna would have issued, and then it was passed on from mother to daughter, from Donna to Heather. And now Heather, as she is going through different seasons in her life, she's decided, you know what? I'm not using this machine as much as I want to. I want someone else to really put it to use. And so she and I met, and I said, yeah, I would love to take it through the workshop magic, about 12 to 14 hours of intense servicing adjustments, and then present the machine on the channel and let someone else have the privilege and the honor of owning this legacy machine from the Baylor family. And so let me read to you real quick what Heather wrote, okay? She said, my mom, Donna Baylor, now in her 80s, bought this machine in the late, and Heather wrote the late 1960s, but the certificate says 1974. So I'm going to go with the certificate. But Heather wrote late 1960s in Canton, Ohio, in Taylor's sewing machine shop. She couldn't remember how much she paid. She probably paid a lot more than what I'm going to be starting the bidding at today. We're going to kind of handle this as a silent bid where you will text me your bid offer on this machine package. And the machine package also comes with a limited lifetime warranty from the Cow Country Workshop. So if you have any issues with the machine over the years, as long as I'm around, I've got your back. I'm going to cover it. And she passed the machine on to Heather along with a white overlock back in 2001. Kind of interesting. We all remember 2001. That was when the Twin Towers were attacked by the bad guys. So that was a real special year in our history, and also in the history of this machine, because this machine then was passed from mother to daughter right around 2001. And she also had, the mother, Donna, also had a Pfaff and a Bernina over the years. And so Donna decided, back in 2001, I'm going to pass this on to my daughter. It's going to be a living legacy machine. It's an original owner machine bought brand new by this family. And now my daughter gets it. And Heather did a number of things with it over the years. Let's see, I'm trying to find some of the things that she made. She mainly repaired clothing, and she used the zigzag quite a bit for that clothing repairs. And then also made 50 COVID employee smocks for a senior living facility around Falls Church, Virginia. And now Heather and her family live, and I'm going to get it right. I'm going to look it up so I get it right. They live in a beautiful area of Kentucky, and I believe that originally Heather and her family came from Michigan. I think when I contacted her, it was a Michigan number. I'm pretty sure. And now Heather and her family are from, give me a second here. They're from Lake Cumberland, the Lake Cumberland area in Kentucky. So if anyone wants to Google a little bit of info about the Lake Cumberland area in Kentucky, I guess it's part of Wayne County or something like that. If If you type it in the live chat, I might send you something special. Susie and I just prepared packages to go out to Kathy King and also out to our leadership team member out in Ohio. Couldn't mail them yesterday because it was Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, but we're going to try to mail them today. So if you win something, we'll get it in the mail to you. It sometimes takes a couple of days to do that. But yeah, type something about Lake Cumberland area, about Wayne County in Kentucky, and if you get it in the live chat, you might win something special. The Kings will approve the gift, they will decree the gift, and then I'll get it into the mail to you. So yeah, fun stuff. Let me see if I can pull up some of those pictures of things that have been made on this 6430 over the years, okay? Hang on real quick. Okay, let's start with what looks like a parade. Let's start with what looks like a parade. And the young lady in the foreground, I'm pretty sure, is Heather in an outfit, kind of a baton outfit, if you will, for a parade that Donna would have made for her. Let me see if I can show it to you on the screen. Absolutely adorable. Let me shut off this light, see if that helps a little bit. Hold on, let me adjust my screen. I can't see where I'm holding it. The camera is trying to focus. It really is. All right, let me go to the next picture. See, there we go. All right, let me go to the next one. Here's adorable, looks like a sleeper outfit or pajamas that Donna would have made for Heather. And she's posing with it right next to a rocking chair. Real classic picture there. Absolutely adorable. All right, let me see if I can find another one. Here's Heather again in a real pretty little dress that Donna would have made on the 6430. Cuter than a bug's ear. And I should mention that I met Heather's husband as well, a former Marine. And so when you got a real cute wife like he does, and like I do, you got to have somebody to protect her. You know what I mean? Defend her honor. So he is definitely around to do that. And I don't recall his first name. I'm kind of embarrassed, but here's another costume that Donna would have made, kind of a rabbit costume. It makes me think of the movie Christmas Story, the Christmas Story. A pink bunny costume. And the brother, he doesn't look quite as excited to put it on as she does, but very cute costume. Here's another one with brother and sister wearing outfits. It looks like he has a pair of pants, and she has a little dress that Donna would have made on this 6430 as well. Very cute, very cute. Well, those are all the pictures I have, but it gives you a taste of how proud this family is of this machine, and probably how difficult it was to come to the decision to part with it. It really does have a lot of sentimental value. It's a living legacy machine of the family, but they weren't selfish. They thought, you know what, we're not using this 6430 as much as we were at one time. Why leave it in the closet? Let's find somebody that can go through it, get it running perfectly, and then we can offer it to someone else to become a living legacy machine for them. So you've got a rare opportunity today to make an offer, to make a bid on this machine. And I'm going to show you all that comes with it in just a second. But the bidding is going to start at a ridiculous $400. $400. If I were selling this machine as a machine for my collection, it would be much higher than that. But it seems like a fair price to start with, and then we'll see where it goes. And if you want to make an offer, kind of a silent auction bid on it, you can go and text my number, and Susie will type that into the live chat. But I'll say it as well, 920-454-0393, 920-454-0393. And you just text your offer. It's got to be at least $400. You're also going to have the shipping cost, unless you want to meet us here in Kentucky and pick the machine up, which is fine with Susie and I. We'll probably take you to lunch as well. And maybe if Heather and her husband were available, they could meet you as well. And then you could hear the stories firsthand about the living legacy of this 6430 in their family, the Baylor family. So, but go ahead and ramp up, because I'm going to show you now what you're getting for at least a minimum auction offer of $400 plus shipping. Okay, so get ready. I'm going to show you, and I'll put on a little bit of royal music as well in the background. So hang on real quick. Once I get it, I'll put on some royal music. And the reason I'm putting on royal music, and you might not know this, the Husqvarna sewing machine company originated in Sweden, obviously, and it has roots going all the way back to the 1600s. And around 1872, the King of Sweden, Gustavus Adolphus III, decreed a drilling and grinding plant that made musket barrels. And then eventually that factory started making sewing machines around 1872. So that's why I always say it's got royal roots. And you'll see the royal crest on the sewing machine that is being offered for sale today. You'll see the royal crest pretty much on everything that Husqvarna puts out with their sewing machines. But with all of that blah, 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 I'll put on a little bit of royal music in the background as I walk you around and show you this machine close up. It looks like it's brand new. And when I went through it, you can tell that there was a lot of care in trying to maintain this machine over the years. And yet, as I went through it with about 140 steps, you know, there were things that needed to be addressed to get it back so it was running absolutely spot on. So let's walk around and take a look at this machine. I also did a post as well on Facebook. If Susie wants to look up that link and post that link as well, and then you can get an appreciation for really the complete package that's being offered here, with some things being offered that were provided by Husqvarna that, quite honestly, I've never seen before. They're incredibly rare, including a stitch, kind of a daisy wheel thing that gives you stitch settings. It gives you tips. It's amazing. I've never seen one before. And an original Husqvarna Viking button holder as well. Just to be in your collection, the button holder alone is bragging rights, because I've never seen an original one before. It just an incredible package. And to start it at $400 is almost kind of silly. But I thought, you know what? We'll start there and see where things go. You might remember my buddy Tom. He's an attorney back in Madison, Wisconsin area. I sold a machine for him, and it went just bonkers. It went absolutely bonkers. I think it ended up selling for $1,200. So we'll see where things go today. The auction will end as I'm wrapping up the live stream. I'm not going to announce the winner, but I will let you know at the next live stream where things landed, and and who the new owner is. I might even do a quick live stream with them if they're local and invite them to come to the workshop, and we'll do some sew-offs together on this 6430 before they take it home. Okay, I'll shut up and take you around to show you what you're bidding on, okay? Here we go. All right, I'm going to pause Mozart real quick. I'm going to pause Mozart, which is tough to do, but let me just say this, that this is one of the most magnificent packages that I've ever offered in the history of me doing Swedish beauties, me offering them for sale, me doing them for customers, etc. It's so comprehensive with the number of cams that you're getting, including a cam that I was offered one time. I showed it in a live stream a long time ago, and I was offered $150 for the cam because you cannot find them. And it's cam letter I, this one right here. It's got some really cool little puppy dogs on it. See if I can show it to you this way. You can see the little puppy dogs. It's got sailboats with it. And I kid you not, there was somebody, I think they were from New Jersey. They had a Colormatic machine. They had searched high and low for this particular cam. They couldn't find it anywhere. And I showed it on a live stream. I believe I was presenting another Colormatic machine, and they didn't have that eye. So I pulled it out of my collection and I sewed with it, showing these patterns. And I got contacted afterwards by this person from New Jersey saying, I'll give you $150 for that cam letter I. I was tempted. I'm not kidding you. I was tempted to sell it for $150, but I decided to hang on to it. And I'm glad I did, because Susie and I have other Colormatic machines we might eventually offer for sale. And I would want to be able to put this incredibly rare cam with it. This particular cam came with Donna's machine. She got it, she acquired it over the years as she was working with this machine. And so she's going to give it with the package. But just realize, between the cam, the machine, this crazy, amazing, let me put the camera down for a second. This crazy, amazing wheel. I've never seen one of these before. It shows you all kinds of tips and tricks. You rotate it around, you're looking for something, and anything from top stitching to basting, zigzagging, marking, 3-step zigzags, the settings. It gives you the settings down here on the little image. It gives you the foot to use over here, the specific foot. All of those feet are included with the package as well. Then on the other side, it's got additional seam allowances and working with different fabrics, from woven fabrics to terry velvet to knitted fabrics. I mean, this is the mastermind wheel. It's a wonder wheel that covers any obstacle you might encounter in using this 6430. It's like, it's like dialing up a friend on some of those programs. You can call a friend when you don't know the answer. This is your friend right here. And in all of the time that I've spent working on Swedish beauties, over 2 decades, I've never, ever, ever seen a wonder wheel like this. That's the name I'm attaching to it, because it doesn't just give you stitch settings. It tells you, it gives you tips on sewing tips, seam allowances, the foot to use. It just goes on and on and on in being able to be a resource so you can enjoy this 6430 to the fullest. I've never in all of my days seen one like this, and it's going to be going with all of these great manuals as well. I kind of showed them to you as I was going around. An owner's manual with service pointers and tips on it. A Viking sewing manual that gives you tips, kind of like the Wonder Wheel. It gives you tips on sewing different materials, overcoming obstacles, adjusting seam allowances. It pretty much covers everything in this manual. And then this Viking owner's handbook goes even deeper into tips in maximizing and using the machine, and being able to service the machine as well. And then you also have a Viking 6000 series original owner's manual as well, that will give you, how do I set up the bobbin? How do I set up the bobbin? What do I do as far as the different knobs on the machine? What do they do? And then also in the back of this owner's manual, it also has the original Viking guarantee that would have been issued to Larry Baylor, I assume that that's Donna's husband, Larry Baylor. And you can see on the shot, it was purchased right around January 26th, 1974. So this is the original Viking guarantee. Viking guarantees their machines for 25 years. A lot of the manufacturers kind of adopted that 25-year window. But I'm extending that warranty because obviously with this machine coming from around 1974, the Viking warranty would have expired 25 years after 1974, whatever that year is. But I'm going to go ahead and extend that warranty. It's a limited lifetime warranty. You know, if you beat it with a hammer, if you let your dog drag it around the room, if you leave it out in the rain, I'm not going to help you. But if something else goes wrong with the machine, I'm going to offer a limited lifetime warranty. So that 25-year warranty by Viking has now been extended indefinitely as long as that original owner has the machine. So if you bid on this machine today and you win it, you have a limited lifetime warranty on this 6430 as long as you own it. And over the years, as I've sold machines, as I occasionally have met a customer and helped them sell a machine, in 25 plus years of doing this, I've never, ever, ever had anyone have to circle back and say, hey, I need to get my machine worked on under that warranty that you offered. Why is that? It's because, as I explained to Heather, if you go to a sew and vac, they're going to spend about 30 to 45 minutes on a machine. In the workshop, when I go through a 6430 like this, even though it looks drop dead gorgeous, Donna and Heather have taken care of it like the treasure that it is. But inevitably, as you use a machine and you work with it and you do project after project after project, it needs attention. It needs servicing. And so as I went through this machine, about 140 steps, I found opportunities here, there, and other places from bobbin to balance wheel, and they've all been addressed. And it's because of the depth of the service that I take a machine through that they can serve a customer for a lifetime and never experience any issues. I've never had a warranty claim from any of my customers in 25 plus years. And I'm confident that this machine, whoever wins it today, whoever makes that silent auction bid and sends it to me via text, will be able to enjoy this machine for a lifetime. And their kids or grandkids will be able to take that machine and continue to use it. As long as it's in that family, I'm going to honor that lifetime limited warranty. So how does that sound? Where can you go anywhere these days and buy a machine for thousands of dollars even and get a limited lifetime warranty? It's unheard of. But I really felt a connection with Heather and her husband, the former Marine. And I said, doggone it, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you sell this machine. But first of all, I'm going to go through it from bobbin to balance wheel. I'm going to spend about 14 hours on the machine and get it better than brand new. So when you get this machine, you're going to be able to sit down and just have fun. Isn't that what sewing's all about? Is having fun. Susie goes into her sewing suite, which you're going to see soon, because she's going to be going back to that manual quilting machine by Baby Lock. What's the name of that machine, Susie? I'm blanking on the name of the machine, but she's going to show you that machine again and a quilt that she's been working on in her sewing suite. And it's going to be fun to be able to see Susie's space here in Kentucky. I know that Thalia is going to be coming with her family eventually to pick up that white rotary that went through paint shop magic that belonged to her great granny. And who knows, maybe we'll do a live stream with Thalia and with Susie in her sewing suite here in Kentucky. That would be a lot of fun. But the point is, this machine is better than brand new now. This machine is better than brand new, and it's coming with all of these special additions, these bonuses that in 25 years of doing this, I've never seen before. All of these manuals as a resource. every attachment that you could possibly want is coming with it, with an original Viking Husqvarna button holder right here. Even if you don't want to use a button holder, if you're the winner of this package today, you could turn around and sell this button holder for around $100 to $150. That's how much it's worth. Just an amazing legacy piece. You just don't see these at all. It's the first one that I've seen that's original. And it comes with all the cams as well. And then it's also got this cool little thing was in here. Susie and I were looking at it last night, and it looks like it's designed so you can cut your fabric straight. But, you know, maybe Donna and Heather have used it for other things, but it's just a spectacular, an additional bonus. You know, if you don't use it for cutting materials in the summertime, you could use it to whack bugs too. I was joking with Susie about that last night, but there's so many original rare pieces that are part of this package that in all of my years, I'm going, daggone it, I might bid on this package myself. I might throw a bid in myself on this package and keep it in Susie's and my personal collection. But I'm going to hold off and see if there's others that want to step forward and win this incredible 6430. Really a spectacular machine. But you're not going to see how spectacular it is until I start sewing with it. And you can hear this machine doing its magic down on a variety of materials. We're going to be doing a number of cotton sew-offs today. We're going to be doing leather. We're going to be doing denim as well, probably about 4 layers of that. So I'm going to run this machine through the paces. And I thought, since a lot of these decorative ornamental stitches are embroidery flavor, I'm going to use an embroidery needle today and shock our friends at Schmetz and actually use a needle that would be more appropriate to some of these sew-offs, one of these Schmetz stick nailed embroidery needles. And I've got a size 90 in there right now, a size 90 needle. So we'll be able to sew off on leather and everything else, hopefully without any issues. But again, at the end of this live stream today, I'm not going to announce the winner, but I am going to take you through some maintenance that I deferred on this 6430 down in the raceway. You're not going to want to miss that, because it's going to be covering some areas that totally affect the stitch quality of the machine. And I waited on that because I wanted to show you how to do it. So it's going to be a live stream built around selling this legacy machine that belongs to the Baylor family. But it's also going to be giving you some tips and tricks on maintaining your sweetest beauty. And you're going to love it. I know you're going to love it. All right, let me do this. I'll walk you around the 6430, and then we're going to jump into some sewing straight away. In the back of the machine right now, I've got cam A, and you can see, let's see, I'll get these in semi the right order. After we do cam A, we're going to jump onto cam B. That's a slippery surface. I put some wax on there. I better be careful. Hold on. After we do the stitch offs on cam A, we're going to jump to cam B, cam C, cam D. I don't know if we'll go through all of these. We might, but I've got cam G. I'll probably let you pick out some stitches and we'll swap out cams. So if you want to look at these now and make note of a particular stitch, all you'll do, because the Colormatic series that started around 1960 with the Model 2000, I've shown you that machine on this channel before. With that Colormatic series, they wanted to make it super easy for the sewist. So when we set these stitches, we match all the colors, and then we stitch that particular stitch on that cam. So for example, if you wanted this red stitch on cam B, you just say, Scott, do the red stitch on cam B, or do the green stitch on cam C, or do the red stitch on cam D. And if you type that in the live chat, once we get rolling, I'll try to honor that request. Same thing here with cam G. Got all kinds of amazing stitches on cam G. You just tell me the cam letter and the color. Cam letter and color, and I'll go ahead and stitch that for you. Cam E. I love cam E. Cam E is one of my favorites. Cam F. the incredibly rare Cam I, and then also we have Cam J as well. So make note of the cam that you want to see sewn, the color that you want as far as the stitch associated with it, and I'll go ahead and do those. I've got Cam A in the back already, so that's kind of a freebie. But there's Cam B, Cam C, Cam D. I kind of put these in the wrong order. There we go. I do know my alphabet, I really do, but I knocked him off a couple times. Cam E, Cam G, Cam F, Cam I, and Cam J. Okay, so you got an idea of the cams that we're going to have at our disposal today to sew off. So if you're one of those people that's looking at potentially wanting to buy this machine, then you'll want to, get me to highlight those stitches that are of most interest to you, right? So that way you can see them, you can see how beautiful they are on the cotton, and you can also specify if you want. Sounds like we have garbage pickup right now. You might hear Hank and Maya barking at the garbage people. But that way you can specify the stitch you want based on the cam, the color, and you can also specify the material. Maybe you want to see your stitch on denim. Maybe you want to see it on leather. Maybe you want to see it on cotton. Tell me that as well in your post in the live chat. And if somehow I miss it, one of the leadership team members will bring it to my attention, hopefully, and then I can go ahead and stitch that particular stitch on the material that you want. Okay, hold on a second. I just realized I think I have my volume turned down for notifications, so I better turn that up. Okay, I'm going to put on a little bit more royal music, and then we're going to jump into this machine. I'll walk you around the 6430 first, kind of show you the different knobs, what their purpose is, what their function is, and then we'll go ahead and jump into some sew-offs straight away. And again, if you have a preference, let me know what that preference is, and we'll go ahead and honor your wishes so you can see that sew-off that will solidify your decision to want to buy this incredible 6430 package. Okay? All right. So here we go. A little bit more Mozart. All right, I'm going to pause Mozart. It almost seems sacrilegious to pause Mozart, but I did pause Mozart because I want to keep moving forward. I want to keep moving forward and give you an opportunity to just fall in love with this incredible 6430 that has been a living legacy within the Baylor family for generations. Purchased brand new, an original owner machine back in 1974, and it's been with the family the whole time. It's been meticulously cared for. Now it's gone through about 14 hours of workshop magic, and it's coming to you with an extended warranty now. The Viking warranty ended 25 years after purchase. I'm going to extend that warranty for a limited lifetime. As long as you don't beat it up or drag it with your dog or something like that, I'm going to take care of you. But let's walk around the machine. You've been looking at the presser foot pressure right here. The presser foot pressure is such a critical function of the machine. A lot of people have been sewing for decades and don't even understand how critical presser foot pressure is. It allows you then to maintain the integrity of the stitch, both in its length and also in its form, because it's going to be pushing down with that pressure foot against that material and then moving that material evenly and smoothly over the feed dogs. So right now you can see I've got it set a little bit higher than the sweet spot that they give you. The little red dot is kind of for most sewing, So if I wanted to go with most sewing, I can move it back over to right about there. And that's where Husqvarna says most people are going to be operating in that area where the red dot is for the majority of their sewing. Now, if you're doing a lot of quilting, because this Swedish beauty has a huge workspace. I mean, look at the workspace here. You can do quilting with this machine. You can do, anything you want to do. You can do leather making. It comes with a robust original Swedish 1-amp motor. A 1-amp motor, it gives you enough steam to mow through practically anything. It's just going to be a fabulous machine for any project or any type of sewing that you choose. But for our sewing, since we are going to be doing some leather and some multiple layers of denim, I'm going to bump it up just a little bit higher. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it this way, go up just a little bit, right about to there. I think we'll go ahead right about up to that space. I may adjust it as we go through the live stream. You can always check your presser foot pressure, just kind of raise that. You can feel the amount of pressure. That should be good for most of our sew-offs today. But the rest of the lay of the land on the machine, we come over here. We've got a bunch of knobs in this little cluster right over here. This knob right here is going to be our stitch selector. You can see right now, based on the little red dot, I've got it set on straight stitching, zigzag, and then also it's the buttonhole position as well. But as we go through the different settings, going through the different cams, you'll see me adjusting this particular stitch selector multiple times. This is our stitch length up here and also our reverse. I'll be adjusting this depending on the stitch that we choose. I'll try to adjust it based on the color and also the stitch length. You've got a little bit of a margin of choice in there where you can set the stitch length within a range for that particular stitch pattern. And then finally on the bottom, we've got stitch width down here. So we'll be working within the range of that. Right now, you can see I've got it set on the straight stitch on 0. So as we move into some of the other stitches, we're going to be adjusting that up either into the rainbow mode right over here or within that range. But it's a fairly simple machine to operate. Stitch selector, stitch length and reverse, and then finally stitch width down here. Again, the whole Colormatic series was built around the idea, let's make it easy, but let's get beautiful stitching. And so that's really the wonder of the Colormatic series, again, that started around 1960 with the Model 2000, and then it grew into spectacular models like this, 6430. But again, the workspace just blows your mind. This machine also comes with a slow gear. A slow gear is so important depending on the sewing that you're doing. And the slow gear is right over here. You just pull it out and it takes the machine from full speed all the way down to 1/5. So you'll have an incredible amount of control in navigating tight turns or going around corners using the slow gear. I'll demonstrate that during the live stream today. It's also our bobbin winder as well. And as soon as you slide a bobbin on there, it automatically disengages the clutch. You don't have to do anything up here with the balance wheel. It's all down here. And I'll try to demonstrate that as well. We'll wind a bobbin, and then you'll be able to see just how beautifully and how easy it is to use this machine. In order to do that, I'll have to move this treasure trove of original bobbins, presser feet, and buttonhole items as well. This is used for buttonholing. You guys know I don't do buttonholes, but that's what this is for right in here. I'll move all this out of the way so we've got a little bit more space to work over here, along with the original buttonholer by Viking as well. So I'm going to set some of this stuff over here, and I'll get a little bit more space. I think we'll start with winding a bobbin. Even though I have one in the machine already, we'll start with that. And this is also a convenient little caddy. You kind of fold this up with the bobbins, and then when you're going to tuck this away in the original Viking case, you slide this underneath the balance wheel, or underneath the balance wheel. You can tell I haven't had coffee yet today. You slide it underneath the free arm. You slide this underneath the free arm, and then it becomes a way to stow all of these things. You put all of your extra cams right into these little cubbies right here, and you can store everything right along the free arm on the machine inside of the case. And the extension bed, you can see right here, gets tucked away right in here. There's a little area right here that's sewn into the face, and you just slide that right into there. The point is, if you go to a quilting retreat or you go to a sewing class or something like that, everything you see here, everything, you can take it with you and you can tuck it away in this case and just walk in with the case and then unveil all of these goodies and make everybody incredibly jealous of the machine that you've got. Because I can tell you one thing, if you go to a quilting retreat or you go to a sewing class, no one else is going to have a machine like this. And if they do, it's not going to having been serviced with Workshop Magic and have a lifetime limited warranty. So if you're not giggling already with the idea of owning a machine like this, again, a minimum bid of only $400 plus shipping will lock you in unless somebody outbids you. It'll lock you in to win this incredible package with a 6430, a limited lifetime warranty that I'm extending that original Viking warranty that was 25 years. Now it's indefinite as long as you take care of the machine. Don't let your dog drag it around the house. Don't leave it out in the rain. You take care of your machine and I've got your back. So, but I'll see if I can move some of this stuff. I'll move it over by the Kings, and then we'll go ahead and wind a bobbin, and then we'll jump into the machine and start having some fun. Okay. All right. So I'll put Mozart back on while I'm getting this all squared away, and we'll start jumping into this and have some fun. Yeah. Why not? Ooh, I got a notification. That was fun. Not as much fun as what we're going to be having, though. All right, here we go. All right. I was a good boy and I let Mozart finish his little thing. Okay. So here's the deal. In order to get a machine set up, one of the first things you have to do, if you don't already have one pre-wound, you got to wind a bobbin. So I'm going to show you how to wind a bobbin on this 6430. And then I'll explain to you how the needle is set up. I'll pull the bobbin out as well, probably. and show you how to set up the bobbin for sewing. Either that or I'll grab another one of my bobbins and I'll do it on a secondary one. I might do that. And then we'll jump into some sewing on this. Again, if you want to see a specific stitch on this 6430, let me know what the cam letter is and what the stitch color is, and I'll go ahead and sew that for you. If you want to specify the material as well, whether denim, cotton, or leather, do that as well. That way you can be satisfied. You've seen the stitch you want, you've seen it sewn on the material you want, and then you can make that decision to text me a bid of $400 or more on this incredible 6430 package. But I better move these cams out of the way first so that I can actually use this space for sewing. Let me move them over here, and that way we can look at them again as we need to. Let's see, B, C, D, E. I've got G and F. And then finally that real rare letter I and J. I'm going to put them right over here. That way we can look at them again. I can just rotate the camera around and I can show them to you again if need be. But let's wind a bobbin first. I might also see if I can slide this Husqvarna over just a little bit because I'm kind of stretching my cord pretty tight and I don't want to disconnect us. Let me slide it over just a little bit further. There we go. Okay, so winding a bobbin, it's real straightforward. First of all, we're going to put on our auxiliary spool of thread. We'll stick it on right over here on this other spool pin. So seeing two spool pins, you know right away that this Swedish beauty is able to do twin needle sewing. And part of what's in that caddy with all of those original attachments, all of those original bobbins is also a twin needle set as well. So you're already set up that you can do twin needle sewing if you want to. So once we come off the top, we've got a thread guide right up here. I think you can see that. I'm going to thread through that little guide. And then we're going to drop down to the tensioner from there. So I'm coming right through here. I'm going to come down to the tensioner. I've got to adjust my camera now. Down to that tensioner. Yep, you can see it. You come underneath the finger like this, and then you go over the tension wheel between the finger and the wheel like this, and then just kind of hold that thread. Make sure you draw it in nice and tight, okay? So we've threaded it in just a matter of seconds, even with my lengthy blah, blah, blah explanation. We've gone through that top thread guide right here. And this is covered in all your books as well. You got 3 manuals. You'll be able to look in your manual as well if you don't want to go back and look at this. But we threaded through here, and then we drop down to this tensioner. Again, bring the thread underneath the finger and then between the finger and the tension wheel. And then we're going to mount our bobbin on here, which automatically disengages the clutch. So I've got that mounted now. And then I'm going to go ahead and wind our thread around there several times. And then we'll engage that foot controller and get this puppy winding. And again, the beauty of this is it's quick, it's easy. The whole design behind the Colormatic series is they wanted to take the stress out of operating the machine. They wanted you to be able to relax. They wanted your creative juices to flow, and they wanted you to have fun. So that's why they did all these things that they did. So a little bit more bobbin, because we're going to be winding a bobbin now. All right, I'm going to stop right about there. And if you can see in the shot, I'm going to stop right about there. If you can see in the shot, the winder is set up right now and calibrated so that it's winding an absolutely gorgeous bobbin. It's not uneven, it's evenly distributed. And you want to be careful about that when you're winding a bobbin on any of your machines. If you wind a bobbin and it's not evenly distributed across, you're going to have feed issues while you're sewing. So make sure you take the time to make the adjustments. If you don't know how, check your owner's manual, or you can always reach out to me. I'll try to guide you a little bit over the phone, although I don't do a lot of that over the phone. But the Swedish Beauty right now is just doing a spectacular job of laying down thread on there. So if we need to go to a second bobbin, we're going to be all set. I'm going to put this right back. Now, just by taking that bobbin off, when I do my first sew off, which is going to be a straight stitch, you're going to hear that clutch. If you listen real carefully, you're going to hear that clutch kick in automatically. There's nothing else we have to do. You put the bobbin on, you wind your bobbin, you take the bobbin off, the clutch gets re-engaged automatically. You can jump right into your sewing. You don't have to fuss around with holding the balance wheel, turning the stop action like you do on a lot of machines. It's automated. It's simple. It's quick. It's easy, which is great. I'm going to take this other spool off. We'll set it in the back just in case we need it. And yeah, let me move the camera to the other side. And we'll do our first sew off. We'll do our first sew off during this live stream of offering this incredible 6430 that's been in the Baylor family for generations. Belonged to Donna. Donna gifted it to Heather right around 2001. That epic year, that horrible year, I should say horrible epic year of 9/11, and using it ever since, but now is having different changes in her life and different seasons, and she wants to offer this machine to someone else. So if you're that person, get off your duff and text a bid so that you can claim this machine and all the goodies that go with it. I mean, it's just a spectacular package, Okay, again, these are the stitches I already did off camera. We can duplicate some of these today. Absolutely drop dead gorgeous stitches. So as you look at those cams, there's cam I right there with the puppy and the sailboat. So as you're sitting there watching this live stream, come out of the shadows. Come out of the shadows. I say it all the time. We have people that will watch this channel, will watch me for years, and they're always sitting in the shadows. Step out of the shadows and join the live chat. Step into the live chat and get to know some new people. You know what? If you don't want to bid on the machine, don't bid on the machine, but you're a fool to not do it. I'm telling you, especially for $400. $400 can possibly, if you're the only person that bids, you'll get all of this for $400 plus shipping, unless you want to come here and pick the machine up, which is totally cool with Susie and I. But if nothing else, step out and get some new friendships started. Share about the machines you have. Talk about your sewing projects. Talk about the weather if you want. Here in Kentucky, we've got some weather rolling in around Friday that's going to just absolutely paralyze this area. They're talking about 10 to 14 inches of snow that's going to hit this area. And up in the mountains here where Susie and I are, we'll probably get even more. So come Friday going into Saturday and Sunday, this area is supposed to just get buried in snow. So if you want to talk about, Susie and I getting buried in snow, then step out of the shadows and do that. But get out of the shadows, join the live stream, get involved, make some new friendships. It looks like we've got about 1,200 people right now in the live stream. And already we've got 507 likes. That's 507 people that have clicked the button. So click one more button and step into the live chat, okay? All right, do that. And you'll have fun. You really will. Some wonderful people to meet. And the leadership team members will take very, very good care of you. They really will. All right. So let me grab some cotton. I've got a little piece of cotton here. We're going to do a straight stitch, and then we're going to do a zigzag, and then we're going to jump into the real fun stitches after that. So I've got the camera now, and I can either leave my light on or off. I might leave it on for a little bit. I've got a brand new LED bulb in there as well that I put in there. So if you're the winner of this package, you're going to be able to sew your heart out and not have to worry about straining your eyes. Some of those incandescent bulbs, they just don't do a thing. But the LED bulbs that I put in the Swedish Beauties, man, oh man, it's like an airplane landing. And you can see everything you need to see. All right, so a straight stitch, a zigzag, and I've got the extension bed on right now. I should do a quick measurement for you so you can get an appreciation of the workspace that you would have with this Swedish Beauty. See if I can give you a quick measurement. So from the end of the bed, let me angle the camera down a little bit. From the end of the bed, I'm almost there. I'm so close. From the end of the bed to the inside of the pillar, you're looking at 15 inches. That's a lot of space, folks. 15 inches from the end of the bed to the pillar. And that's important to know if you're working with larger, bulkier projects, if you're doing quilting. So from the end of the bed here to the inside of the pillar, which is right over here, 15 inches. From the needle to the inside of the pillar, that's equally important to know for turning materials. From the needle to the inside of the pillar, you're looking at 8 inches. 8 inches from the needle to the inside of the pillar. Again, that's a lot of space to rotate those thicker projects, whether you're dealing with a bulky quilt or whatever it is. From needle to pillar, 8 inches, 15 inches overall workspace. And then the width of the bed you're looking at is going to be right around 8.5, almost 8 3/4 inches across, 8 3/4 inches. That's a lot of workspace, folks. It really is. So let me go ahead and we'll do the first sew off. Finally. We'll do the first sew off. We'll jump into a zigzag, and then we'll really crank up the party, like they say. We'll crank up the party and do some real fun stitches as well. All right, I'm going to set up some music to go, but I want you to listen to this machine run as well. Hang on real quick. Okay, I've got my music pretty much, well, I had my music set up and I just bumped the wrong button. Oh, well, that's okay. All right, so a straight stitch, a zigzag, and then the fun stitches. All right, here we go. Listen to this 6430 operate after workshop magic. Here we go. Was it running? I couldn't even hear it. I think it was running. Just ridiculously quiet. Whisper quiet machine. And we'll engage the slow gear on some of our slow offs too for fun. I couldn't even do that on the zigzag. That would be a good idea. I think I might do that. I might do the zigzag. I might do the zigzag in slow gear. I might do that. I don't know why all of a sudden I sound like I might be from Ireland or something like that. But at any rate, so here's our straight stitch that we just laid down. Absolutely spectacular. A gorgeous straight stitch. I'll kind of show it to you this way as well. That's our top stitching. Our lock stitching is equally gorgeous. Beautiful lock stitching on the back as well. And you can see right now I've got my presser foot pressure cranked up maybe a little bit too high for this cotton. You can see a little bit of puckering there. All we have to do is turn our presser foot pressure down and take that puckering away. But I'm going to leave it the way it is for right now because we're going to be going through leather and denim and everything else. But some absolutely gorgeous straight stitching. So now we'll do a zigzag, and we're going to do it with a slow gear. So you can appreciate how this slow gear works and just how easy it is to engage as well. Again, look at that workspace. 15 inches, 8 inches from here to there. I don't remember what the width was, like 8.5 inches across or something like that. It's just huge. So if I want to engage the slow gear to do my zigzag, I just pull this out like this. It's that easy. It's that easy. The slow gear is now engaged, and you'll be able to hear the machine kind of rev down. Again, it's going to take the machine from full speed all the way down to 1/5. So it's reducing the speed of the machine by 4/5. I'm not good with math. If I got that wrong, forgive me. But at any rate, it slows the machine down at a ridiculous rate. And to set the zigzag, all we're going to do is go down to our stitch width right here. We're going to go to our stitch width, and we're going to decide how wide do we want it. Right now we're on 0. We got to go wider than 0. So I'm going to crank it all the way up to 4, which is also our rainbow setting for a lot of the decorative ornamental stitches. So we turned our stitch width up to 4. Our stitch length is already on 4. And our stitch selector is on straight and zigzag. So we're all set to lay down a zigzag on these 2 layers of 100% cotton now. Look at that straight stitch. The Husqvarnas, in my opinion, everyone talks about the perfect stitch coming from the featherweight. You watch the stitching today and tell me if you don't think that the Swedish, tell me if you don't think that the Swedish beauties lay down a stitch that is equally as gorgeous as the featherweights, if not more. They're just a precision machine. The Swedish are so great at engineering the functions of a machine to execute perfectly every time once it's set up perfectly. And that's the whole workshop magic thing, is get the machine running perfect so that the sewist, the new owner of this 6430 package, doesn't have to worry about a thing. Every time they sit down, it's going to sew the same way so they can have fun. So we're going to do a zigzag now on these 2 layers of 100% cotton with the stiffener. And then we'll jump into the fun stuff. Yeah, not that sewing a zigzag isn't fun. It could be. But some of these other stitches are just way cool. All right, zigzag now. Here we go. See that? That's our slow gear, folks. Now, when you're getting ready after you've used the slow gear, you've got to disengage the slow gear before you turn the balance wheel. I've said this a bazillion times, but I still have people that will call me or they'll send me a text and they'll say, I engaged the slow gear and now my balance wheel is locked. It's going to be locked because it has to gear that motor down so that it's only sewing at 1/5 of the normal speed. So in order to free up that balance wheel after you use the slow gear, because right now this is locked, you've got to push your slow gear back in, just like that. It's that easy. And now when I go to sew, you're going to hear that clutch re-engage back to full speed, and you're going to be able to turn your balance wheel, which is really good. All right, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and pull this out. We'll look at our zigzag, and then we'll move into some of the stitches on cam A, and we'll start jumping around on some of the other cams as well. Yeah. Oh, I know another thing I didn't show. I should have showed it, but I didn't. Can you drop the feed dogs on this 6430? There's the question of the day. Can you drop the feed dogs on this 6430? The answer is yes, and it's with simple push. There's our zigzag. I'll show that to you first. Beautiful zigzag. Beautiful zigzag. Absolutely unbelievable. Spot on. Again, other than a little bit of puckering because I've got the presser foot pressure turned up a little bit too high. This again is our presser foot pressure right here. Got it turned up just a little bit too high. Other than that, absolutely spot on. Page 34, drop dead gorgeous stitching, both the straight stitching and the zigzag. So, but I got to show you how to drop the feed dogs in case you do free motion quilting. This little button right here, just below the stitch width, you push this in, it'll drop the feed dogs. You push it again, the feed dogs will pop back up again. So I forgot to show you that to you the first time. Surprised somebody didn't call me and say, hey, show them how to drop the feed dogs. So let's jump into Cam A. I'm going to do some sewing on Cam A first, and then I'll show you the cams again, and you can decide whether or not you want to pick a stitch. We'll start with some of this red material. Get that into there. And I'm going to set it up to do the first stitch on Cam A, which is going to be a blue stitch. It's going to be a blue stitch, something like this, similar to this. Some of these cams will have a slight variation because they might be a revised cam. I talked about that with Candido's rare Nordic Husqvarna Swedish Beauty, that some of the cams that Husqvarna did, they would revise them. And sometimes you'll have a revised cam where it won't match directly up with this. But it's easy enough to set. We'll do blue, then we'll do yellow, then we'll do orange, and then we'll do purple. Okay? I might not do all of those because some of them are pretty basic, but I might do most of them. So I'm going to start turning this counterclockwise. Oops, I just passed blue. I got so excited. So I'm set on blue now. You can see the blue is lined up with a little red dot. This one is also set up in the blue range. Might just bring it a hair over. And this one is also, the stitch length is set in the blue range right around here. The stitch width is also in the blue range on that little rainbow setting right there. You can see where it has 4. Am I pointed at the right area? Where am I pointed? There it is. On my screen, it looks shadowed, but I think you can see it. So blue, stitch width, stitch length blue, stitch selector also on blue. So we're going to try to do this first stitch on Cam A, and then I'll jump through some of the other stitches potentially on Cam A as well. All right? Take up arms all the way up. Let's do this first stitch. And yeah, and we'll keep rolling. We'll keep on rolling. And you'll notice that the material, if you're not familiar with this function, the material is moving back and forth very rapidly. That's called tri-motion. And it's very unique to the Swedish Beauties. There are other machines that incorporated that function, but the Swedish pretty much originated it. And it's taking the needle movement along with the feed dog movement to be able to generate some of these more complex decorative type stitches. Okay? All right, I'm going to stop right there. Draw this out. That's a beautiful stitch. If anyone has a name for it or wants to type the name of it that they think it's called in the live chat, go ahead and do that. Type what you think that stitch is called. Yeah, we'll go with that. You can call it whatever you want. I'll move to the next stitch on Cam A, which is going to be a yellow stitch. We'll lay that one down as well. And then we'll look at all of these on Cam A. I'll actually mark it as Cam A. Try to get that a little bit tighter. There we go. So now we've got to go to the next stitch, which is going to be the yellow stitch. This one right over here on Cam A. So I've got to rotate my stitch selector, get us over to yellow. So we've got our stitch selector set on yellow. Our stitch length is still in the yellow range. You can see that yellow and blue kind of share the same space. And then our stitch width down here is also in the yellow range. We're already set to do the next stitch on Cam A, which is going to be a lot of tri-motion, I believe. Beautiful, beautiful stitching. All right, here we go. The next stitch on Cam A. And that stitch is called the stretch straight stitch. I actually know the name of that stitch. It's called a stretch straight stitch. Kind of hard to say. Stretch straight stitch. And then we're going to move into the orange, which looks like it might be a stretch blind hem stitch. That's also on cam A. And again, it's very, very easy to set it up. Wish I could get my columns a little bit straighter, but I'm trying to go a little bit straighter. So now we're going to do an orange stitch. This one right here kind of looks like both of these might be blind hem. One is a standard blind hem and the other one is a stretch blind hem. So I'm going to rotate this over to the orange. Now we've got our stitch selector on orange. And now for the first time, we've got to adjust our stitch length so that we're going to be in the orange range. So I got to keep turning it and we'll get to right about there. I could go all the way over to here in the orange range, but I'm going to make it just a little bit longer. This again is going to be our stitch length. So I'm going to go right on the edge of the orange. And then we got to adjust our stitch width as well so that we're in the orange range. And I'm going to go to the widest setting on the edge here. You can see we're right around 3. I could go all the way over to 2, but I'm going to go to the wider of the 2 ranges. So we've got this set on orange, our stitch width, our stitch length is set on orange, and our stitch selector is also set on orange. That's it. Now we're going to be doing a type of blind hem, and then we'll, maybe we'll do the other blind hem as well so you can see all of cam A. All right, here we go. The next stitch on this legacy machine that has belonged to the Baylor family for decades and now could become your machine along with all the goodies. All right, here we go. Nice, very nice. There's the blind hem we just did. Kind of see that? I think that is a stretch blind hem, but if anyone wants to chime in, if you're like a stitchology person and you're a stitch expert, we would love to learn from you. We really would. Like I say, sometimes a teacher, always a student, always a student. I'm always willing to learn from our family, the Cow Country family. So many smart, gifted, knowledgeable people. It'd be a lot of fun to do that. All right. We'll do the last stitch on cam A. Get this into place. And all now. So I'm going to take our stitch selector and adjust it over to purple. Now I've got to take our stitch length and adjust it over to purple as well. Oops, I got to go the other way. There we go. All right, so I got that on purple, stitch selector on purple, stitch length on purple, and it looks like I'm already in, I'm going to double check. I'm already in the purple range. Yeah. Purple, I said purple range, not purple rain. This is not a Prince episode. So I've got this set on purple as well, right around on the longest, on the widest setting, right around close to 3. So purple, purple, and purple. Yeah. Okay. So let's do this last one on cam A, and then we'll switch to one of the other cams. So this is cam A right here. This is cam A. We've got this cool stitch. We've got the stretch straight stitch, and we got 2 different flavors of this blind hem stitch. I'll go ahead and clip the threads and we'll look at the front and back, and then we'll move into some of the other cams to check those out. And again, if you have a particular cam you want to see sewn on and a particular stitch, type it in the live chat. And if I miss it, type it again. so that I can give that acknowledgement to you. I'm going to grab one of my markers. I'll just put Cam A next to this so we remember it's Cam A. Just put a little A near the top of it. I shouldn't be doing that so close to the bed, but I know how to get permanent marker off of the paint if I do that. So all right, so this is Cam A. Beautiful, beautiful stitching. Raise this up a little bit. There we go. There's our lock stitch. Very nice stitching. All right, so I'm going to show you the cams again. And if anyone wants to chime into the live chat, if you already chimed in, chime in again. If anyone wants to chime into the live chat and say the cam and the color, the cam and the color, CNC, cam and color, cow country, cam and color, okay? Then I'll be able to put that cam into the machine and we'll be able to stitch off that stitch for you, okay? And then once we land on a particular cam, I'll probably sew all the stitches on that cam just so that we can see all those stitches on material. And again, if you have a specific material you're interested in seeing, leather, denim, or cotton, just let me know and we'll go ahead and do that as well. Okay, let me throw a little bit of music on. And it looks like you folks are very interested, very, very interested in what we're doing today. And I'm saying that because we still have an audience right now of over 1,200 people watching this. Now, what you need to do is you need to take the next step and send a text with a bid offer of at least $400 plus shipping. And yeah, you can move that next step towards owning this Swedish beauty in the new year. I know a lot of you made resolutions in the new year to want to own a Swedish beauty, especially after you saw Candido's, Nordic Husqvarna that I presented a few weeks ago. Everyone was excited about that machine. And I know that you're equally excited about this one as well. And to get you even more excited, I'm going to put on some Brazilian music. Yeah. All right, I'll stop. I'll stop. All right, let me pause the music and see if anybody typed anything in the live chat as far as a stitch that they want to see. I don't see anybody typing anything in as far as the stitches, so I'm just going to grab a cam, and that's okay. I'm going to grab a cam. The first thing I've got to do, though, is I've got to rotate the stitch selector so that it pushes the existing cam all the way out. And I'll show you what I'm doing with that. I'm going to rotate it back clockwise. And as I'm doing that, just look here on the back of the machine, watch for that cam to erupt. So I'm turning it clockwise until that cam is all the way out. And then what I can do is I can carefully grab that cam and I can just pull it out. Now I'm going to be adding one of these other cams in next to lay down some more fun stitching. Okay, hold on. All right, I've got cam B in the back now. I decided just to go in a normal sequence. So I've got cam B in. I'll show you the stitches again that we're going to be laying down on this 100% cotton, 2 layers of it with a stiffener. And then we might move over to, cam E. It looks like Jenny out of Ohio, who are getting ready to mail something to her today. If we can get to the post office in time. Jenny has a stitch that she wants to see. E or J yellow. E or J yellow. E or J yellow. Just see, I think I just got a text message. Oh my. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. A dear friend, a very dear friend of Susie and mine, who is out in Arizona, just sent me a text. She's been such I hope that somehow I'm blessed with meeting her someday. I truly do. But we prepared a number of machines for her. And she just sent me a text and she said, hi, this is Mindy. You've done amazing things with this machine. My bid is, and let me just tell you this, I'm not going to tell you what her bid is, but you need to bid at least more than $550. Otherwise, don't bother. Because Mindy out in Arizona is wanting this Swedish beauty. So she's made a bid that is, like I said, you need to make a bid of at least dollars or more. And then you know what? If you do that, I bet you she's going to bump her bid up because she knows how I prepare machines. I've had the privilege and honor of preparing a number of machines for this dear lady out in Arizona. And you're going to have to fight like tooth and nails to beat her. But go ahead and try. Why not? So I'll just tell you that we've got a very, very exciting bid to start out with of $550 plus shipping. That's going to head out to Mindy in Arizona unless you can beat her. Is there anybody in an audience of 1,237 people? We have 1,237 people in this audience right now. Is there anyone brave enough to try to challenge Mindy out in Arizona? I doubt it. I think you are all probably going to sit back there and go, I don't want to fight with that lady. No way, Jose. But you know what? If you're brave enough, go ahead and try. So I'm excited about this initial bid. And now we're going to keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Nice. All right, I'm going to pause that fun Cuban music real quick and just tell you that while that music was playing, I decided to do the first stitch on cam B. Now I'm going to be moving to the second stitch on cam B. And it looks like also, I think I had seen Jenny had wanted to see something on cam E, or I'll go back and double check. I'll scroll up in the live chat and just double check to see. But let me go ahead and move us to the next stitch, which is going to be a yellow stitch. Go ahead and move this over there. We moved our stitch selector to yellow. We've already got our stitch length set in the yellow range, yellow and blue range. And we've already got our stitch width on the yellow stitch width range as well. So we've got yellow, yellow, and yellow. Okay. So let me go ahead and move that next stitch out, and then we'll jump into the other two stitches on cam B. All right, here we go. And again, look at that tri-motion working. Not just needle movement, but feed dog movement at the same time. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the overlay. Look at the overlay of that stitching. The overlay of that stitching we just laid down. Again, cam B, cam B. Now we're going to be going from this stitch to the red stitch on cam B as well. I'm just going to keep on rolling. I'm going to put on a little bit more Cuban music. I don't have any Cuban. Hold on. Let me untie my tongue. I don't have any Cuban ancestry, but I might, because I love their music. It's fabulous. Right now, it's kind of quiet. Come on, guys. Come on. Yeah. 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 If that doesn't get you out of your seat, nothing will. Incredible music. All right, so I'm doing cam B right now, and I'm just finishing up the red stitch, and then we have one more stitch to do on cam B. One more stitch to do on cam B. I'm telling you one thing. This machine is just sewing up a storm, as if it's saying, you know what? I've been part of the Baylor family, but I'm excited. I am so excited to go to my new family and to be able to show off and to carry that legacy forward from the family that I've been with since the early 1970s. Now I'm going to be part of a new family creating things. And it might be out in Arizona. I'm not going to say, but wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. Okay. One more. Now I'm talking like I'm from Cuba, and I might be. No, one more stitch from cam B, and it's going to be the green stitch. This is kind of a snaky stitch. It's kind of a fun snaky stitch. Let's see what we can do with this one. Got to set the machine up to do it, though. And also, when you're setting it up, make sure that you're putting that material far enough underneath that presser foot. The presser foot has to be able to grip that material all the way to move it across, right? So now we'll do our next and final stitch on cam B. It's going to be the green stitch, kind of the snaky stitch right there. Get my finger out of the way. So now we need to set it to green. We'll turn our stitch selector to green, which is also shared by purple, green and purple. We got to take our stitch length and adjust that to green as well. Got to go the other way, Scotty. There we go. So our stitch length is now set on green also. And our stitch width is already set on green. We have that kind of that rainbow setting. See that? We've got that rainbow setting. All right, let's do our final stitch on cam B, like Bravo. And then we're going to jump into the rest of these cams to check them out. All right, so here we go. Final stitch, cam B. I feel like I want to put more music on, but I don't have any more Cuban music. Let me see. I'll just start it over. All right, hang in there, folks. Get out of your seat and do a little dancing. Do a little dancing. Come on, you can do it. I got so excited. I got so excited about the music. All of a sudden, I look up at the laptop screen and you can see the take-up arm going up and down. I'm like, uh-oh. I forgot to move the camera back. Boy, it'd be great to have a camera person, wouldn't it? Oh, that's okay. All right, let's finish off our last little bit here, and then we'll move on to another cam, okay? Well, at least you saw that the take-up arm is going up and down now, right? Yeah. That's pretty exciting. All right, so that's the end of our cam B right there. I'm going to go ahead and mark it accordingly, and then we'll move on to our next cam. I think we had a request. We had a request from Jenny, I believe. I'll scroll back up in the live chat and see what cam she wanted to see. I don't think she picked a color, but she did pick a cam. I'm going to mark this one first of all as cam B. So here's what we've done so far on the live stream. We've had a chance to go through cams A and B and lay down some absolutely drop dead gorgeous stitching. Absolutely drop dead gorgeous stitching. But this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. We're going to keep ramping up and buzzing through all of these fabulous cams and reach the finish line and see where it leads us. See where it leads us. I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be great. I know it's going to be fabulous. All right, let me do this. Let me go ahead and scroll up. I think Jenny had put down a couple of letters. Let me see what they are. E and J. Oh, Susie put down E and J. Somebody else put something else down too, I think. Yeah, Jenny put down E and J also. Maybe Susie was just retyping what Jenny had. Jenny out of Ohio. So I'm going to move to the E cam next, and then I'll do the J cam after that. E and J, okay? E and J, E and J. Now, Mindy is saying there's no sound. Are you guys having trouble? Are you having trouble hearing me? Someone type in the live chat if the audio is out. Are you guys hearing any audio? Oh, Jim has a camera suggestion. I appreciate that. Yeah, here's the thing about my I've got a Kaio. Mindy got it fixed. Perfect. Jim suggested going manual. If I had another person helping me in the workshop manage the camera, I would do that, Jim. But when I set up the camera, I've got just a few options. I've got responsive, which means it'll adjust the focus very rapidly depending on where the camera is positioned. And then I've got the other setting of how wide the shot should be. Should it be wide? Should it be medium? Should it be narrow? I've set it on different settings before: narrow, wide, medium. The best results I've gotten, at least with this Kaio Pro, it's K-I-Y-O. So if someone wants to Google the Kaio camera series, they're supposed to be the best, but I don't know if that's true. But I've got a Kaio Pro by Razer Kaio Pro camera. And right now I've got it set on medium and I've got it set on responsive. But I'm willing to, if someone wants to volunteer to come in and help manage the camera, let's do it. I would love to have somebody come in and do that. But I know that Susie's busy with the other leaders taking care of the family. I've been trying to teach Hank and Maya, our Labrador puppies, how to operate the camera, but they keep trying to chew on it. Is that normal for a dog to try to chew a camera? I bet you it is. But at any rate, I appreciate the suggestion, Jim. I just don't know what else I can do right now. I think part of the problem is my hand gets in the way, and then the camera tries to focus on my hand. And at any rate, we'll keep working on it. We'll keep working on it. So I apologize for any misfocusing. We're going to work on that. Yeah, we are. All right. A little bit more Cuba music. Cuba music. Cuba, Cuba, Cuba. All right, I'm going to pause that real quick. Well, hopefully, while I was adjusting things, you had a chance to see those stitches a little bit closer. I can see on the laptop sometimes the camera's trying to focus on my hand as I'm moving the material underneath the needle, and it'll be focusing on my hand, so you can see my hand real clear. And then all of a sudden, the stitches will go blurry. So here you can see the stitches very clearly on cams A and B. And now I'm going to be sewing on cam E, which I've already put into the machine. I've shown you a couple times how to, you turn the stitch selector until the cam is all the way out by turning it clockwise, and you just carefully pull that cam out. Now, let me give you a quick tip on Colormatic machines. They've got a cam stack in them. This has a brand new cam stack in it that the family had put in just a short time ago. But when you're putting cams in and out of a machine, whether it's a Colormatic or otherwise, do it with gentleness. Do it with patience. Some people will jam it in real hard, and then they'll end up cracking their cam stack. So when you put it in, just slide it in very gently. You'll hear it snap into place. And then when you pull it out, make sure you pull it out straight. Don't pull it out on an angle. Pull it out straight, because those little feet on the cam will snap into the cam stack, which is plastic. These little feet here. So when you're sliding these little feet in, they snap in and they lock into the cam stack. So as you're adjusting the stitch selector, the cam stack will move in and out to get the proper stitch. But when you slide it in slow, you'll hear it snap in. And then when you pull it out straight. Okay, enough on that. But I just want to set you up for success, whether it's your machine or whether you end up winning this machine, set you up for success so you don't damage your own machine. How frustrating would that be, right? So just take it nice and easy, take it gentle, and your machine will take care of you. All right, so we're going to cam E now, I believe it is. Let me look over the top. Yep, we got cam E in there. So I'm going to go to the blue stitch. Go to the blue stitch, which is going to be kind of a floral type stitch, kind of a cool floral stitch. There we go. So I set my stitch selector on blue. Now I'm going to take my stitch length. Here, I'll just show you. I put my stitch selector on blue, and we're going to be sewing from this cam right over here. I'm going to move my finger out of the way so it's not trying to focus on my finger. So now I have to set my stitch length on blue as well. Got to go the other way, Scott. Ha-ha. And on some of these stitches, they need a little bit more room to work, so I tend to set them a little bit longer. But again, with the benefits of this wheel here, you can use that as a reference as well to set some of your stitches and, to do all the things right. I go with intuition and instinct because I've worked with so many Swedish beauties over the years, thousands of them, that I go by instinct, but I can always learn a new thing, right? So you might end up going to this wheel if you're the winner and say, hey, try this, and you'll get even a more gorgeous stitch. I'm going to do it because Husqvarna Viking designed these machines. They know what they're doing, and I can always learn. I'm always a student, right? Now we're going to make sure this is on blue as well. Our stitch width is on blue. Our stitch length is on the blue range. You can go up or down a little bit. And our stitch selector is also on blue. And again, we've got cam E in the, and we're going to be putting, so I'll put a little bit more music on while we're doing this. You've already heard how whisper quiet this Swedish beauty is running. So enjoy some music and then grab your phone or your iPad and text me a bid on this machine. Unless you're afraid of Mindy, which I wouldn't blame you. She's a tough gal. But yeah, go ahead and think about that, would you? Oh, is that a beautiful stitch? Oh my goodness. Isn't that a gorgeous stitch? Oh, oh my goodness. Holy mackerel. What? Look at this stitch. Jenny and Susie are so smart picking out Cam E. This stitch, what does it look like? I can't even describe it. It's like a burst, like a beautiful burst of energy and light and oh wow. Wow. Ha ha, I love it. I think I have a new favorite stitch. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. Okay, here we go. We're still on Cam E. We're still on Cam E. Ha ha! All right, one more stitch on Cam E. One more stitch. That's one we just did. One more stitch, y'all. Here we go. This is going to be our, what is it? I lost track. This is going to be our green stitch. Our green stitch is next. And then I think there was another letter. It was Cam E, and what was the other Cam? J? I think Cam J. I believe it was Cam J. Yep, Cam J. And Susie had picked J yellow. But if we go on to J, I'm going to do all of J. If we do J, I'll do all of J. So let me set over to J after that. Oh, okay. Susie just sent me a text. I think James has a Swedish Beauty, and I sent him a belt, a sewing belt, the short belt, the 9-incher. And great. Yeah, Jim had sent me a note and said that it fits perfectly. It's an original Husqvarna short belt. They have a long belt short. Anyway, great to have you here, Jim. I appreciate that. I'm glad it's working out well for you. Okay, so let me do this. Let me set us up for the green stitch now. All right, we're going to do this final stitch on Cam E, and then I'm going to be jumping over to Cam J, I believe it is. I think it's J. Yeah, I think it is. All right, here we go. Final stitch. And maybe I'll do this one in the slow gear as well. I already showed you how to engage the slow gear. You go on the right side of the machine and you grab that bobbin winder. You just pull it out gently and it'll engage that slow gear for you. So we'll do this final stitch on Cam E as a slow gear sew off. I want you to listen to the gearing of this machine down. Otherwise, it would be racing away. We're going to be slowing it down to 1/5 the speed, and you'll hear the engine running, but the machine will be running at a much slower pace so we can manage. Okay? All right, here we go. Final sew off Cam E. Yep, I got it in. Okay, perfect. Okay, here we go. Isn't that cool? All right, I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to finish off the rest of this little column of stitching by putting it back into full speed. So I'm going to push that bobbin winder assembly in on the right side of the machine. You'll hear a soft click, and then we're going to race to the finish to finish this last stitch line. Okay, here we go. I've only got the foot controller down. I mean, if it like a quarter of an inch. 30 comes with a 1 amp original Swedish motor. It is a monster. It's a monster. If you want to do heavy duty sewing, this is your girl right here. If you want to do light duty sewing, this is your girl. It's going to do it all. It's going to do it all. What a gorgeous stitch. That's the end of Cam E right there. Move it like this so you can see it. Cam E's got some absolutely gorgeous stitches on it, doesn't it? Absolutely like this. So I've got to mark this one Cam E, and then we're going to do a little bit of sewing on Cam J after that. I'm going to see how we're doing on time. Yeah, I'd like to wrap us up in about 30 minutes if I can. But I also was thinking about maybe I'll do you know what I could do? Today is Tuesday. Maybe I could do a separate live stream on the maintenance tip, as we might not have enough time. And I know that's going to frustrate some of you because some of you just love it when I show you how to do some detailed, intricate type maintenance on your machines, especially the Swedish Beauties. We'll see how we're doing on time. We'll see how we're doing. But there's our Cam E right there. What a lovely, lovely cam. So far on this live stream, we've done Cam A, Cam B, and Cam E. Move my hand out of the way there. And that's what it looks like right there. And that's only 3 of the cams. We've got 2, 4, 6 more cams. 6 more cams that we could potentially do, which we probably won't, but we'll see how we do on time. But my point is, you've got so many choices. You've got so many choices when it comes to going outside of a straight and a zigzag and jumping into funland with just a wide variety of decorative ornamental type stitches. I mean, look at these. They're just spectacular. Put them onto a project. Maybe you're doing something as a gift for someone. Maybe you're doing it as a side business. Imagine some of these stitches incorporated into a project and how people would look at it and go, oh my goodness gravy, I want it. I want it. I don't care what you're charging for that wallet, for that purse, for that bag. It's gorgeous. And that's the beauty of a Swedish beauty, is they just stitch up a storm. They make it so easy, and they lay down a stitch that people just drool over. Again, if you took a machine like this to a quilting class or a sewing retreat, you're going to have like your own little party. People are going to be huddled around you saying, show me that again. How did you do that? Show me that again. Where did you get that? They're going to go nuts. It's so much fun to have a machine like this that just creates again and again and again. I don't know what else I can say. It's just spectacular. Just spectacular. Okay, one other text. Let me just see what this is. Hold on real quick. I think this is the text from Susie. Hold on real quick. Bear with me for a second, guys. Okay, yeah. Okay, got it. Okay, I'm caught up. I've pretty much caught up. Okay, so let's move on the Cam J now. Let's move on Cam J, and I'll put on just a little bit more music. I think I'm out of Cuba music. I'm out of Cuba music, but I got some other fun music to put on as well. And if you joined us a little bit late, you might have joined us a little bit late. That's okay. You can just ask one of the leaders. If you show up late to class, ask one of the leadership team members. They've got a little wrench in front of their name. Ask them for a late pass, and that way you don't get penalized, okay? But if you showed up to class a little bit late today, I want to show you the pictures of some of the beautiful pieces that were made by the family of Heather, by Donna, the mom. Donna bought this machine brand new. It's an original owner machine. And some of the pictures that she shared of the cool things that were made on this machine over the years. I'll just show them to you real quick. Hold on real quick. All right. So this little outfit, right, kind of a cool outfit, like some sort of parade going on, right? Some sort of a little parade thing going on. And they created this beautiful, Donna made this beautiful outfit for Heather. And some of her other friends maybe she made it for the other little girls too. Maybe Donna made all 3 of those. I'm guessing she probably did. Another beautiful pajama outfit. Back up the camera just a little bit. A little pajama outfit there next to the rocking chair. Beautiful outfit there. That's Heather. That's Heather as a little girl wearing another outfit that was made on this machine by her mom, Donna, that gifted this machine to her in one. There is a bunny costume, and apparently made it for grandson as well. No, made it for, I'm sorry. Donna made it for her son and for her daughter. And her son there is on the left. I know that Donna told me, or excuse me, I should take a deep breath. I think I'm lacking oxygen here because I'm blah, 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 blah. Donna made this for Heather and for Heather's brother. And it takes me back to that classic movie of A Christmas Story where I think it's an ant that makes that costume, the bunny costume that the little boy has to put on and the mother makes him come down the stairs. You remember that? Have you ever seen that movie with Darren McGavin and all that? Yeah. More outfits. Looks like pants and and a little dress with Heather and her brother. My point is, you're going to be carrying on a legacy. If you're the winner of this machine, if when this live stream ends, you're the last bid that comes in and the highest bid, you're going to be carrying on a proud legacy for the Baylor family. A machine that has served this family over decades. Started with Donna making all those wonderful outfits you just saw. And then finally, and I've got to get Heather's brother's name or he's going to get mad at me. What's his name? Hang on a second. I'll get it. I'm scrolling through my notes. Hang on a second. Kevin. Ah-ha-ha! Kevin. That's Kevin. There's Kevin right there in his bunny costume. He doesn't look happy, does he? Kevin doesn't look too happy. Now Heather's happy. Wait, where's her face? There it is. Kevin looks like he wants to be somewhere else, doesn't he? Heather's like, oh yeah, I'm cool. Kevin's like, can we move now? Can we move? Please? Please, Mom, can we move? He's got the same look as the little boy in the Christmas Story that comes on every year where you can shoot your eye out with the BB gun. You guys know what movie I'm talking about. Oh my goodness, what a hoot. Poor Kevin, poor Kevin. Kevin looks happier there, but maybe they fed him chocolate. I don't know. Maybe they gave him chocolate before they had him posed with that. Heather's looking right at the camera, and Kevin's still trying to imagine himself on an island somewhere or something like that, saying, okay, all right, whatever. All right. So I'll get back to work here. We've gone through cams A, B, and now E. And now we're going to move on to cam J, okay? We'll move on to cam J, but I'll put a little bit more music on for you first. Hold on. What do I have? I always love Irish music. Don't you love Irish music? We'll put on a little bit of Irish music. All right. So if you were sitting with that Irish music, you really need to get some help, because I can't stand when there's Irish music on or that Cuban music before. I can't stand still. I'm like vibrating. I'm literally vibrating. It's just fabulous music. Music is so powerful, isn't it? Well, it looks like Jenny mentioned that they're going to be making a new Christmas Story movie, and that was made near where Jenny is in Ohio, I believe. The first movie I think she shared with us was made not too far from where she is, and now they're going to be making another one. And Ohio, all of the country, pretty much, other than like California or maybe other places like that, either they have been or they're going to get hammered by snow. I mentioned that we're going to get hammered by snow starting on Friday. I think Susie told me Friday or Saturday, 10 to 12 inches of snow, which means up here in the mountains, we're probably going to get like 14 inches of snow. That's going to be a showstopper for Kentucky. They've got a couple of snow plows, maybe, but not much. So if it hits Kentucky,
we're going to be at home. If it hits Georgia, they're going to be at home. If it hits anywhere in this region, Tennessee, everybody's going to be at home, probably watching me live stream something. I don't know what I'll live stream if I'll have anything ready, but I might just maybe I'll come up with a service on a Swedish Beauty. How does that sound? And we'll do that on Saturday. But at any rate, yeah, lots of snow everywhere. Snow, snow, snow. So anyone that believes strongly in global warming, that's fine. That's great. But right now we're getting global snowing. We are indeed. Yeah. All right. All right, I'm going to pause that real quick. I just had to adjust that camera real quick to make sure that it was all the way in. And now we're going to see if we can lay down. I think Susie wanted the yellow stitch, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to remember if it was yellow. I believe so. So we'll see if we can lay down the yellow stitch on. I've switched over to leather now. I'm going to see if we can do some leather. And again, we're using an embroidery needle by Schmetz, a size 90-14 stick natal embroidery needle. And we'll see how this model 6430 likes sewing leather. Yeah, I think it's going to like it just fine. But we'll go ahead and give that a go. And yeah, we'll jump into some other stitches possibly on Cam J. And then I really want to do Cam I. I want to do Cam I because it's such a rare cam. Like I said, I have a Cam I in my personal collection. And there's a fellow from New Jersey that offered me $150 for one cam because they're so hard to get a hold of. So we'll see if we can go ahead and use Cam I after this. And then we'll move towards wrapping this live stream up pretty quick, I think. We're right around 2 hours and 18 minutes. And I want to see if I can bring things to a close pretty quick. I think we have a... Oh, I like that one. Really nice. All right, I'm going to pause the Irish music real quick. These are two of these stitches that are on Cam J. Yeah, I believe it's Cam J. And I've sewn them on about 3 to 4 ounces of genuine cowhide. This is not a hardened leather, but it's definitely cowhide. It probably, if you look at it from the side, it's probably about 4 ounces. Nice heavy nap on the back as well. This would make a great project material for making bags or purses or something like that. If you're wanting to do projects as gifts or to do them for sale, maybe you'll want to sell some as well. And these are, I think this was stitched. What is it? The yellow stitch and the green stitch is what I did on Cam J. Now I'm going to take Cam J out and I'm going to move over to one of my favorite cams, Cam I, and see if we can also stitch that down. But we're not going to do it on leather. Maybe we'll do it on leather, but we'll also do it on denim because I told you I prepared some denim. Denim is a very popular material for projects and for most. I did sew down on some denim as well. And I'm not going to do 1 or 2 layers. I'm probably going to do 4 layers of denim just to demonstrate again with a 1 amp original Swedish motor. You don't need to be concerned about this machine having enough power. It's got power and it's got power in reserve. And again, the slow gear is not going to increase the power of the motor, but it's going to slow down the feed. So you might be able to sew through some heavier things. So yeah, any rate, a little bit more Irish music while I'm getting ready for the next sew off. All right. So we're taking out Cam J and we're going to put in Cam I now. All right. So we move from Cam J over to Cam I. This is a little sailboat, and you can change the width a little bit. You can change the length as far as changing the appearance of this stitch pattern slightly. But really, when it comes to sewing leather like this, if you're going to leather for gifts or professionally, not just for a one-off like I do on the live streams, you could always move from an embroidery needle to a leather needle. Is going to work with the leather a little bit differently. It's going to cut through it a little bit differently, and you might have some better results. Also, there's a lot of thread choices. I know, as Susie already shared, I generally always go to my Coats and Clark dual duty XP thread, but there's so many other thread choices out there that will change the appearance and the presentation of the stitches that you do with a great machine like this 6430. So keep that in mind. You're seeing one slide shot of me with my setup doing sew-offs. You can change that depending on your needle, your thread, and certainly your material as well. Okay? I launched into that sew off quick, and then I look up and again, and guess what? My camera's in the wrong spot. At least I didn't go as far this time. So what I switched over to now, I had that genuine cowhide, probably about 4 ounces of leather, and now I over to 4 layers of heavy grade denim. 4 layers of heavy grade denim. So out, a seam or a cuff or something like that. We're going through that density of material right now. Again, we're using an embroidery needle, which is okay, but they do make something called a denim needle. So if you're going to be sewing denim all day long or making purses or other things like that, you can always pick out one of Schmet's specialty needles, whether it's a leather needle, whether it's a denim needle, or you can be a rebel like me and sew everything with the wrong needle and yet still get amazing, amazing results. It's all about workshop magic, right? Yeah, it is. All right, let's finish off this sew off. Listening to that music, it's kind of got a Scottish flavor, doesn't it? But that takes me back to two things. It takes me back to my military service when we were doing different marches and that on parade fields, especially at to a time when I was a little guy probably about 13 years old, maybe 12 years old. And I was in a group called the Elks Band. Has anyone ever heard of the Elks Band before, or the Elks organization? I was in the Elks Band, and I played trumpet, and we would march sometimes. And I always loved it when the drummers on the snare drum would get a rhythm like that going. It just makes you, I mean, it just makes you want to stand up. At least it does me. I think that's all of the music I have on that little track. Well, what I did is I did the same pattern off of Cam I, the little sailboat. And I did it through 4 layers of heavy grade denim, just to show you that this machine can sew pretty, but it also can sew heavy duty as well. And these little sailboats, again, if you use a denim needle or something like that, you can get even more detail out of some of these patterns. But they're just a gorgeous look on denim and leather as well. Just a beautiful, and our lock stitching is also spot on. So I think I'll do a couple more stitches on Cam I, and then we're going to wrap this up. And I don't think I'll do the maintenance today. The maintenance will take probably another half hour to 45 minutes. We'll save that maybe for Saturday, when Susie and I and a lot of us are going to be snowed in. Okay, let me see if I can give me 1 second here. Ooh, Space Odyssey. I forgot I had that music. I'll put on a little bit of Space Odyssey as we finish up the stitching on Cam I on this fabulous Husqvarna Viking model 6430. I think I'm almost out of bobbin thread. Oh, I like that one too. So what you're looking at here, I'm going to shut off this space music. It's a little bit weird, but it's kind of cool. What you're looking at here is a combination of Cam E and J. Cam E and J, we kind of bounced between the two a little bit because those were two of the cams that Susie and Ginny wanted to see. But we have so many other cams we could have done. We didn't do anything on Cam C, anything on Cam D. We didn't do anything on Cam G or Cam F either. We've got all of those stitches left that we could possibly do. I'm just going to show them to you. And there's some of my ultimately favorite stitches. We'll put them here on the bed again, see if we can take a peek at them. And if there's any last requests from anyone on some last stitches you want to see before I wrap up the live stream, I'm more than happy to do them. I can do them on cotton. I can get another piece of leather and do them on leather if you want me to do them on leather, or I can do them on denim. I think I have some space left on the denim as well. But all I can say is that these are all the cams that we still could do. I'll show them to you right there. Cam C has got some really cool stitches. Cam D, Cam G, Cam F. So if anyone wants to, at the last minute here as this live stream is wrapping up, we're just getting ready to end the live stream. And then, like I said, at the next live stream, I will announce who the winner was and who's going to be the new owner of this amazing 6430. And but before I do that, you have a last opportunity. If you're in the shadows, looks like we still have over 1,200 people in the shadows right now. Actually, not 1,200, probably more than that, because it's 1,000 people watching right now. And we only have a few people in the live chat. But if you want to pick either Cam C, D, G, or F, actually, I don't know my alphabet, do I? Let me switch these. I do know my alphabet. I could even sing it like the Three Stooges if I wanted to, but I won't do that now. But any of these cams are still fair game. See if I can get closer so you can actually see them better. So if you want to see something on Cam C, let me shut my light off over here. You want to see something on Cam C, we can do that. Cam D. Cam F. Or Cam G. So any last requests, give me the letter and the color, whether it's Cam C, D, F, or G. These are the cams that we haven't sewn at all. We haven't done these at all during this live stream. So this is your last chance. Pick out a letter, pick out a color, and I'll go ahead and do that, okay? All right. Nobody's typed anything in the live chat as far as I can see, specifying a cam that they want to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a final cam that I want to show off on. And I think it's going to be cam G, although cam F is also really cool. I think I'll pick cam G, and then we will leave cam F, C, and D for the winner to demonstrate. Or maybe once a winner is declared, I'll demonstrate these last three cams. You can just remind me C, D, and F. But right now, I'll work on getting. And yeah. All right. I've got cam G in the back right now. Yep, cam G. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do the final sew-offs on this one. If anyone needs to step away, I get it. It's a busy Tuesday, and you probably have some things you got to take care of. I know we've been running about 2 hours and 43 minutes now. I want to thank everybody that sent in a bid, including my very, very dear friend Mindy out in Arizona. And like I said, I will reach out to the winner after this live stream, and then I will let all of you know who won and where it's going at the next live stream, which probably will be Saturday, when Susie and I and lots of people across the country are going to be snowed in. So appreciate all of you so much. God bless you, and thank you to the leadership team for taking such good care of the family. And I will wrap up with some royal music. I'll wrap up with some royal music because the roots of Husqvarna Viking, again, go back to a king's decree in the 1600s that eventually led to them making sewing machines in 1872. So what a proud legacy, and what a proud brand new owner we're going to have that will carry this legacy forward for Heather and Donna, and even her brother, Kevin, who was a little bit embarrassed by some of the stuff that he had to wear. Yeah. Okay. Enjoy, guys. God bless, and stay safe.